Hi there. Welcome to Module 5 of Lesson 5. In this section, you will learn about box plot. We will talk some theoretical part of this box plot, what it is and how it looks like. Then we will directly jump into the coding part and we'll learn how to create a box plot using Matplotlib in Python. Essentially, a box plot describes a few statistical information of a given data using box. So let's see an example of box plot using the image shown here. This is how a typical box plot looks like. It can be represented both horizontally or vertically. As you can see, there are 5 marking on the box, including this maximum and minimum level at the top and bottom part of this box. Let's understand each one of them quickly. Starting with Q1 or the first quartile, it represents the 25th percentile of the data. For your information, percentile is just a value at or below which a given percentage fall. This is a relative scoring scheme which is mostly seen in the competitive exams result. I hope you can get it. Next one is median, which is Q2. It is mostly denoted by the word median and very seldom with Q2. So you will always encounter this median, not the Q2. So it basically represents the 50th percentile of the data. The third one is the third quartile or Q3. It represents the 75th percentile mark. The remaining two, which are maximum and minimum, these are outliers, so to say. They are of course the part of box but represents a single point for maximum and minimum value of a given dataset respectively. Box plot is also known as whiskers plot because the two lines that you can see which is connecting this maximum and minimum, these are called whiskers. Because of that, these type of plots are sometimes also called as box plot or box whiskers plot. So don't confuse, both are same. Please don't confuse the box plot with that of candlestick bars. So candlestick bar are mostly appearing in your stock and trade data, which is not exactly the box plot. Both are completely different, but resemblance wise, they may look alike for some time. So be sure about that. So that's all about the theoretical part. Now let's dive directly into the coding part and understand how to create a box plot using Matplotlib library in Python. So I'm in my Jupyter notebook and the syntax for box plot goes like this. It uses pyplot module of Matplotlib to plot this box plot on a graph. So let's understand the argument quickly. The argument for this function, which is plt.boxplot, the first argument is x, which represents the input data. So this is the data that we're giving. So contains an array value of vector values, right? The data can be processed and the box can be formed using this data. The second one is label, which helps to identify each dataset individually. And the third one is vert. So this basically represents the orientation of the box plot. By default, it is vertical, and that means it is true. But if you make it to false, if you say vert equal to false, then it will represent the box in horizontal format. So that's it. Now let's see the code.
So in the first line of the code, I have imported pyplot module from Matplotlib and with the alias name of PLT. You can keep it anything, but the general convention is PLT. And then second, I'm importing NumPy module. I'll be using that numerical function of NumPy module to generate some dummy data. All right. So I've created 3 variables altogether in order to create 3 different data sets. So I've created the first variable with the name spread_1, which is using NumPy module, and from NumPy module I'm using random function and then finally the normal function. So what basically it does is normal function is basically draw a sample from normal distribution or Gaussian distribution, and these are 3 parameters which normal method require, and these are the first one, which is 20. It's basically the mean value of the sample, and 2 the second one is standard deviation. So this is the standard deviation, and the third one is the size of the sample, how much size I want. So this way I can generate a number, right? In case if you wanted to see how it looks like, I can show you. We can directly write red_1. I'm sorry, _1, and then run it. you will see this is the number that it generates, right? So this spread 1 will generate this kind of number. In the second line, I have again created a variable which is called spread underscore 2, which also does the same thing. Again, the mean remains same as 20, but standard deviation has been changed to 4 and the number of samples remains same. Similarly, for spread 3, I have created normal distribution. I have drawn samples from normal distribution and the mean again remains same as 20. Standard deviation though changed from 4 to 6 and then a number of samples remains same as 50. So that you can check with the difference in the standard deviation how this spread is basically plotting a box. So I've created another variable which is called all underscore spread. You can name it anything. Just the main intention is to package all of them together in a group or basically in a list so that it is easy for the plotting, right? Now once these are done, I can directly use plt.boxplot and this x value, which is all spread. All spread will be there with the labels to identify each one of them individually. So I've used spread 1, spread 2, it should be spread 2 and then spread 3 so that you can identify which data set it is plotted. And then finally show. So when you run this one, you will see this is a box plot that we got for these data, right? So this is spread for all 3 data together. And as you can see, the labels basically depict which data set is. And as you can see here, since the medians are same, in spite of having a different box size, the medians remain same as 20, right? And then of course, because of the spread of the data, because of standard deviation, these plots has been with the different shapes, right? So that's it. This is how you can create a box plot. On top of that, there are a lot of customization options. For instance, you can have notch option. You can use notch equal to 1 just to put a notch near the median. And then ticks are also options you can enable. If you execute this code, you will see slightly different variations because I have enabled vertical to be as false. So that means it will be horizontal. And then with the help of notch and manage ticks, you can have different types of plot. It will have the same data although, but a little bit of different orientation and representation. That's it. I hope you have learned something new in this one. Thank you so much for joining with me in this one. I will see you in the next section.